welcome to Board AF!
Yeah!
Today is a very exciting day because we are playing, and I say this unbiasedly, my favorite tabletop game I've ever played.
Wow,
and it just so happens to have been created by a good friend of mine, Ivan Van Norman from Geek and Sundry.
Yes, yeah!
Way to make a game!
That's really, really nice of you.
Because the very first time I played it was when we were on King of the Nerds, and I fell in love with it because you literally get to create yourself in a zombie apocalypse.
Yes, we've all taken personality tests, and basically what they've all said is, we're dead. We're gonna die. This
I don't know,
isn't
I'm
happening.
gonna be fine.
We were playing Outbreak Undead, 2nd edition. This is the starter kit.
Right.
Tell us about this game. What are we doing today?
Outbreak Undead is a zombie survival simulation RPG, which, the keyword being simulation, this game kind of differentiates itself from other zombie RPGs because it tries to lean on realism. The zombie apocalypse is not a walk in the park, you know.
Walking Dead in the park.
And a lot of the zombie stuff that we've come to enjoy, it really centers around people trying to maintain a post-apocalyptic world with zombies as kind of its backdrop. And this is very much a similar way. With Outbreak Undead, you can do Mad Max, you can do like 28 Days Later, you can do Romero Zombies.
We actually did Outbreak Undead Deep Space.
We did Deep Space.
did it
on this channel a long time ago.
Yeah, we did. So we did like sci-fi with like mutated, infected opponents and stuff. And it was.
I got scratched. We never saw the outcome of that.
Oh,
but,
maybe on,
Yeah.
maybe on Board AF.
Monday.
I mean, the outcome is obviously I put him down.
You did.
I don't take risks.
The game's pretty simple in its base mechanics, but it has a whole list of crunchy little extras that you can add in depending on how realistic you want your survival experience to be.
Yeah, we've decided that we want it to be as hard as possible since we're so equipped to be in the zombie apocalypse.
It's gonna be great.
And now, keep in mind, like, this is a full-fledged tabletop RPG game.
Yeah.
So this episode is going to span over a few episodes. So strap in, because we're seeing if we can survive the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, not even specifically the zombie apocalypse. You're going to see if you can survive Smosh Games' Winter Apocalypse.
The Smosh Winter game?
The Winter Apocalypse.
Smosh Winter Games Apocalypse.
Winter Apocalypse is coming.
I like it.
Now, I love because the slogan for this game is "Your zombie plan will fail."
Yeah, your zombie survival
So
plan will
whatever
fail.
we think our plan, he's my zombie plan.
Yeah, actually,
so.
we've all said our zombie plan is to go to Wes's house. Because
So I guess I should have a really good plan, right?
All plans fail because they've never been tested. So Wes, it's time to test your plan.
Okay.
Hope it's a good one.
Really quick, because we did the personality test, do we want to see who, like, what is your highest stat?
my highest stat was my empathy. It was a 36.
That was my lowest stat, 20.
And what these numbers compare to is 22-ish is pretty average. The idea being that if these guys have amnesia and they were trying to succeed on an empathy roll, they would have to roll under a 36 on a 100-sided die. Now, 100
The
sides...
odds are against us.
Odds are against this, but a 100-sided die is just do 2 d10s that make 100.
A 39 in grappling?
Pretty good.
You are scrappy. Mine is actually a 56 in hold.
That's right.
I
hold.
can...
Stand still.
He cannot do anything.
So
yeah. Joven has a 56 in laziness.
Yeah.
I got a 53 in long gun firearms.
Like I said, he's my
Rifles and
survival plan.
shotguns.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because as we talked about when we were making your character, you gave me a pretty comprehensive list of all of the competition shooting you used to
I'm
do.
killing my guy.
And that's what happens, guys. Practical experience matters when
Which
you're
is
trying
really,
to deal
really
with things.
cool.
My strengths are pretty good. I have 2 years lacrosse and 10 years lying about my stats in RPGs. So I feel like I'm pretty well prepared.
Let's jump into the scenario. Now, we've not heard this situation before. You're
Yeah.
throwing us into it.
I'm throwing you
and
into it. It's completely fresh.
We're going to see how we do.
And the good news is that I got familiar the last couple nights with what happens when you guys go
I don't
out to do
like the way you said
games.
familiar.
The glory that I'll present to you today will be part of essentially you guys being in a cabin in Big Bear, and that's kind of where our story begins. As they
Paint us
say.
the picture.
Now, normally I would go around in an RPG show and say, "Hey, introduce your characters," but you guys are playing you.
I'm Joven.
Joven who?
I'm Gorlog.
All right, guys, you are in the middle of a two-tiered cabin out in the wondrous winter wonderland of Big Bear.
It's a lot of alliteration.
It's thank you. You're sitting on the lake side of Big Bear, if you're familiar with the town at all. And just for the people out there who may not be familiar with California's geography, it's easily, call it 30 to 40 miles from the nearest civilization.
Right.
And it's down a large amount of elevation because Big Bear is often used as a luxury retreat and a ski resort.
You're literally above the clouds.
You're above the clouds. So it's a very isolated establishment, but it is also a pretty well-furnished town.
My character called in sick and did not go to Winter Games. I survived.
You got a call from Matt Robb saying either get in the bus or you're fired.
I got into the bus.
And so you drove up to Big Bear with everybody, and
we're on a bus.
your scenario, no, we're way past the bus.
we're past the bus.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, what I'm saying is we don't have individual cars to drive.
Nope, you took a bus.
No, but we do have a bus.
You carpooled
This
up.
bus!
Our scenario starts with you four relaxing after a long night of shooting Winter Games. So this is the evening of day one,
Okay.
so to speak.
Poor Soinki just had a sriracha snow cone.
That's
Luckily,
fair.
I ate approximately 157 Tums. So my stomach has calmed down.
So you're still recovering some of your sriracha snow cone.
Yes.
Sitting amongst a fire, and everyone decided to go out to the casino. That's up in Big Bear.
There's a casino up there?
We totally knew about that.
Yes,
So you four accurately decided to stay home, either A, because you didn't want to blow money on a California casino, or two, sriracha snow cone.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How do you relax and wind down after a
Playing
long
some
night?
Fire Emblem Awakening
Awakening?
on my DS.
Great.
I think myself and Joven, we're having a Hearthstone duel.
Yep, going back and forth, Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm watching the Hearthstone duel, telling people what to do things, and they're telling me to go away.
Great. Backseat driving the Hearthstone
Yes.
duel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow,
We're so
frighteningly
cool.
accurate.
Your kind of scenario starts with you guys alone inside of the cabin, and as you're dealing damage out, you're disconnected. The Wi-Fi goes out.
Oh, okay.
So in the middle of your game,
I blame Wes.
First of all, I was going to win.
Nope.
So
No,
clearly,
that was easily in
very
my favor.
Clearly,
So you see the blip pop up being like connection lost, attempting to reconnect, and eventually you time out.
well, first I checked the battery on my phone. I want to see what
doing
we're
pretty good.
working with. All right,
It's
cool.
doing pretty good.
I blame
You
Wes.
have very poor signal up here, for the record.
Yeah, makes sense.
He blames me.
We
and
tell
he's
Wes
mad
to
'cause he
go
made a
fix the
misplay.
internet.
Wes, go fix the internet.
Okay. I'm going to go up and I'm going to check the router. And
Okay.
I unplug it, plug it back in,
You unplug, plug it back in.
and it just the light for connection just keeps blinking.
It does actually. In fact, there is the solid light for internet. So it goes through its check and it blinks through, and that internet light isn't coming on.
Should have gone to the casino.
Damn it, Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I tell Joven to go find Matt Robb and complain about the internet.
Do you want to call Matt?
I try to call Matt, see when they're coming back.
Okay, so you hop on the phone. You are surprised to hear that as soon as you dial the number, it goes straight to a recorded message. Boo-doo-doo. I'm sorry, all circuits are currently busy. Try your call again later.
I don't like this game. I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. I mean, wait. I hold.
I go check and see if there's any pizza left.
Okay, there is definitely pizza left.
Yes.
Dude, I'm
I
having
feel
a
like I'm
slice.
already winning.
Yeah. Because this is important. I take my cheese pills and then I have some pizza.
That's very important.
Come on. This is a
smart.
real-to-life RPG. You did not bring your cheese
No,
pills.
I have them on a big chute. In fact, I will open my backpack that is right over there. That is full of cheese pills, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Good work.
So I'm actually going to make a proxy card for you, sir, because
pills?
you actually because this is a medical thing.
Then I probably shouldn't tell you about my thyroid condition.
These are important things.
Or my asthma.
Well, I already knew that because you let that one out.
Okay.
So
I also have a medical condition. If I don't take pills every 3 hours, I become more awesome and stronger. I'm just gonna
Cold Pizza and Pills is the name of the game right
Well,
now.
so,
I heated
so
my
here's the
pizza up
question:
in the oven.
are the lights on?
Yeah,
Or
the
we
lights
have,
are
we got
on.
electricity.
You got power.
Okay.
Powers up. Can everyone make a spot listen check?
Ooh, yeah. What does that mean?
That means you're going to look at your spot listen.
My spot listen is
31.
44 for me.
27.
So I have to
That's
roll.
your target number. You're attempting to roll
it's
under
32.
that number.
All right. Well, let's kind of go in order here. You need to get below what?
27.
You can all roll at the same time and tell me, hold up your fingers on how many degrees of success you got. Or degrees of failure.
0.
And how does the
and
degrees
it's-
of success? It's
Every 10 under the target number. So you have a
Every 10?
44. If you
So
get a
I'm
34 or under.
so I'm no.
So
I'm not.
if you're less than 10 under, it's just 0 degrees of success.
And to be clear, this is success, this is failure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm under, but not by a lot.
Okay. So while you three are arguing about the internet, so Hinky, you hear bleating.
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 Oh, bleating.
Like a goat.
Is there a window nearby
Go
to maybe
bleat?
check outside
Absolutely
of?
in the kitchen. It is loud, and it is frantic.
Oh, wow.
And it sounds like it's an animal cry. Absolutely, it's an animal cry. And it
All right,
seems-
well, then I call these guys over. I'm like, guys, shut the hell up and listen to this bleeding out here. Because there's a lot of frantic bleeding happening.
And I'm like,
Bleating.
Bleating.
Do you need a Band-Aid? I don't know.
No, bleating.
Oh, bleating with a T.
Yes, like the sound is it a goat? Is that it? Yeah. It's like the Taylor Swift goat.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, it worked for a power biz rap. My mouth is full of pizza still.
it suddenly cuts out.
Okay. Did you guys hear that bleating?
Yeah, it's probably like Shane or Matt Robb trying to like scare us or something.
Yeah, they're probably just messing with us.
Oh, okay,
so.
you were swallowing a slice.
Yeah.
You were swallowing a pizza.
Thank you for not talking with your mouth full.
no.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It's probably just a couple animals. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, there's no way I'm going out to check. Let's
they're-
be real here.
right,
It's
no.
dark, and there's like a wild animal that might have rabies or something. I am not checking.
It is
that out.
winter, and most likely the big creatures are hibernating. But
Check my phone and try to dial Matt Robb again.
I'm sorry, all circuits are currently busy. Please try your call again later.
Alright, so the phones aren't gonna work, guys.
Cool.
I walk away from the window, grab another slice of pizza, and try to calm myself down.
I continue eating pizza and playing DS.
You start to hear the sounds of sirens coming up from the main road. So you guys are about 2 blocks away from the main road. And you hear as several fire engines, the fire paramedics, like the smaller paramedic
EMTs.
trucks, the EMTs, thank you. The red and white lights of sirens kind of bathe a light across the room as it makes its pass across the main street.
I go up to the second floor to look out a window to see if I can get a better view.
You look up
dun, dun.
to
And I
this
join
going-
him.
You go up there?
Yeah.
Okay. As you go up to the second level and look out through your porch to kind of gaze around and see what happens, you notice, well, first you hear the sound of tires squealing. You next see as the EMT starts to put on its e-brakes, and you watch as smoke comes up from the side of its wheels as it screeches and basically fishtails into the next intersection that's about a block away from where you're at, and that's when you notice a car right into the center of it, in its front grill,
God.
and it literally like crumbles onto the side of it, and you watch as a person flies out through the front.
Oh, did you see that?
I mean, my first reaction, 911.
He makes him.
I'm a good Samaritan, but I'm not the kind that's going to run out in the middle of the night to a crashed car and a fire and a man bleeding on the road.
You do see as other people, lights are turning on, and you do see a few people starting to wander their way out from the house.
Do you see that? That's an ambulance right there. There's nothing I can do that he can't do. I'm gonna watch it from here.
Yeah, but the paramedics could be hurt. I search for a flashlight.
Actually, make a search check, because let's see if you find other
check.
useful things beyond the flashlight to add to your resource catalog inside your cabin.
1.
1 degree
Wow.
of success?
Yeah, so
Great.
I have a 32, so 3
So,
degrees of success.
do me a favor.
Wait, you rolled a 1?
Yeah, he
rolled a
got
one.
3
Oh,
degrees
you
of
rolled a 1. You
Yeah.
got 3 degrees of success.
Yeah.
Well,
For people just figuring this game out, that's like
The best
a crit.
roll.
That's the best you
literally
can
the
do.
best thing you can do.
Yeah!
So with 3 degrees of success, I'm willing to reveal up to 3 what we like to call tiers
Okay.
of items that will be in this resource catalog.
Okay.
That is your cabin. Cabin, Smosh Winter's Game cabin.
That is the song. How'd you know our song?
This is what you have initially, and
Okay.
it is a well-stocked cabin. So if we can continue to do this, but this is just in that beautiful 15 seconds that it took for you to get down and start looking around for this stuff. This is the things that you notice that you could purchase from. You essentially have a small piercing weapon.
Small piercing weapon, so like a kitchen knife or something.
Exactly.
Hey, Wes, did you find that flashlight?
Yeah, I found the flashlight. I also found a couple other things, guys. I actually found 2 flashlights, guys, and I found a first aid kit. So I don't know. Maybe the EMT's truck was destroyed. We should take this over there.
So he doesn't have that stuff, though? Sorry. He's just he
it
can purchase it?
It's available in the house.
Okay.
He is able to purchase it. By purchasing it, he takes it with him.
Oh, okay.
What do you
And
purchase it with?
You purchase it by essentially
So if
using
I-
survival points. Oh, that's a very important thing, guys. I'm starting you off with survival points. Because you're in a well-stocked cabin in the midst of winter games, I'm actually going to start you off with 100 survival points.
Oh, beautiful.
Granted, that is only available to you in the winter's game cabin. You individually all have 3 that you're welcome to use.
I have 3 points.
Okay.
So don't leave the cabin.
There may be a theme around this. And I start with 5 hazard. 5 risk, my apologies. Get your game terms right, game maker. So you have some survival points. You essentially, by purchasing this, those will cost 1 each. By purchasing it, you will essentially take 1 off of that 100.
Okay. So I'll grab both the flashlights, I
Great.
guess. So this would go down to 98. I'll probably put on the heavy coat.
Oh, do we not start with our whatever clothes we
You
have?
guys are
Oh.
in your pajamas as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm probably
hanging
like
out.
in a long sleeve
Yeah,
jacket.
all right. Well, if
Sweater
we're
thing.
going outside to check on these EMTs, then...
You're going outside? All
Yeah,
right.
he's going outside.
He's going outside.
Well, yeah, I'm probably
Yeah.
take one of you guys with me.
You want to put on a heavy coat too?
I would like to get dressed in normal clothing and also put on a heavy coat.
Okay, great. So those will be both for you. Heavy coats will be actually very valuable in the winter gear. We're going to bump that up to 5. So it's going
5?
to take 10. So
Okay,
you're
So we were at 98.
So we're down to 88.
All right, yeah. There could be a dead guy. I want to see that. I'll go with you.
very
Okay.
noble of you.
I'll go too, but only if... I got to find my coat and flashlight.
Well, we have 2 flashlights right now.
Yo, give me one of them flashlights.
Okay. I am going to purchase, and I'm going to grab the knife,
Grab the knife.
just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can take that. That will cost you 5. That will cost you 5. So that takes another 10.
Jobin, you going to take
Yeah,
the
I gave him a
No, that sounds dumb. I'm
You
going to
already
stay
purchased
inside.
it.
It's too cold outside.
Are there any other, like, blunt objects? For instance, in our last Winter Games cabin, there was a shovel.
and a baseball bat.
Well, a bunch of shovels, a bat.
But there is no reason for you to need it yet.
Well, Lasercorn and I are standing by the door, and
Okay.
we're like, "Come on, so Hinky, let's go."
That is very realistic. It's very realistic.
Way
Actually,
not so
even more
cute.
realistic would have been Lasercorn just leaving without
yeah,
me.
like
Yeah,
But
that's the thing I do.
As you walk out to the intersection, you start to notice a small crowd of people are starting to formulate around this
I could see all
very
this, right?
bad crash. You can. You have some distance from it. You're about 150 feet away. So you can kind of see this group of people meandering around. A lot of them are super concerned. A lot of them are on their phones, kind of doing what you were doing earlier, like, really? What's the deal with that? And they're all talking. One woman is crying. Being consoled by someone, presumably her husband, and you can see the body
okay.
that flew out of the car.
flew out of the car.
Okay.
It is mangled, disfigured, and unmoving. As it lays on the pavement, in fact, you can see the long red streak
Oh man.
of presumably the trail that it left as it moved
So-
through. Everybody make will checks real
Will
quick.
checks.
Will.
Yes. Actually, Jobin, since you're not gazing upon the gore of this body at the moment,
I'm pretty blind.
you're not subject to this. You're
well-
pretty blind to the danger at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
5
Send
degrees
a
of
picture
failure. Okay, Wes, you start to vomit. All right. You can clearly see where like bones are shattered and that he is in an extremely disfigured pose.
So that pizza was not good.
It was pretty much giving you a difficulty dice
Okay.
for the rest of this situation that you're going to hold on to. So just keep one of these black dice
Okay.
when you continue to roll things.
Okay.
It will add to your
To my okay.
your
got
number. You ain't feeling so hot, sir. You two, you're great, Lasercorn.
Yep. So I'm still eating pizza. I'm like, oh, match some blood.
So Hinky, I would assume actually that maybe there was a bit of an alarm in your voice upon seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But no, nothing more, nothing less.
Cool.
Okay.
I tap someone on the shoulder and see if they know what happened, why they crashed and whatnot.
You see an older gentleman who goatee, mustache with some sandy blonde hair. Looks like he came up to ski for the weekend. Younger. I don't know, man. I just I heard tires squealing and I came out and they were literally just crunched into each other. I've seen some bad wrecks, man, but how did that even happen?
Yeah.
These roads are dead. You know? It's like
Are the paramedics okay?
Yeah, kind of wipe my mouth off a little bit. I was like, okay, guys, we need to. I'm like shielding.
Are you
myself
sure you're
from
good to approach?
I'm good. It was bad pizza, I swear. And I'm fine. So I go around to check.
He's got a weak stomach, guys.
Yeah.
He's got a real
It's
weak
bad.
stomach.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Like a little girl.
So I'm like, all right, let's go check. Let's go around and look and see if the EMTs are okay.
okay, so you pop the back.
I was gonna say we just go around the front and
Shine the light in.
shine the
front
light
light
on
in
the
front.
on the driver.
Okay. As you come around with the flashlight, you can see the cold, wintry night. The humidity makes the beam of light kind of seem like a saber as it comes out in the midst of it. And you've got one of those Stranger Things, like, bulky
Oh, the
ones.
big ones, okay.
Yeah, with, like, the front nozzle on it, because that's what I would imagine would be inside the cabin. So as you're kind of, like, waving it with its giant D-cell batteries inside of it, it's piercing through the midst of the windshield, and you can see the airbags have been deployed. And they're both seem to be face first inside of the airbags at the moment.
Okay.
But you don't see any real gore or any blood.
Any movement.
Or any movement. Nothing to necessarily suggest that, well...
that they're not anything but
There's nothing to
unconscious.
suggest that they're alive, and there's nothing to suggest that they're dead.
Okay.
Wes, go and open the back and see if anyone is in the back.
I don't think I can get to it, man. The car is smashed up right against these doors.
No, it's on the side.
And it actually collided in the front. Sorry, because I painted this photo of which it basically squealed like it did a fishtail with the front forward, and then the car went boom,
Okay.
right into the front.
Right into the
So
front.
both of the hoods are like
Smashed.
The engines are basically touching.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Docking,
know
as
if I
they say.
necessarily.
Wes, if anyone's in there, those engines could blow at any minute. We gotta check and see if anyone's in the back.
I don't know. My
And you're
experience
the
with
man
the
to
last
do
body.
it.
My experience with the last body. If there's somebody in the back, they probably weren't properly secured. They could have smashed into something. I'd rather somebody else look like Lasercorn. He seemed okay.
Upon hearing Sohinki say those engines could blow at any minute, I start taking steps backwards.
All right.
Still eating pizza, but I want to be out of blast range.
I too take steps backwards, but I egg Wes on to check the back.
You start to actually see some people, upon watching you three kind of like deliberating, you watch as one of the men, an older gentleman in his 60s, maybe he owns one of the cabins.
Yeah, you
that's
bunch of
fairly far
pussies.
aware. Thank you. That was the line I was looking for. What are you standing around for, you dicks? There's somebody hurt inside of there.
Oh.
And he starts walking up and he opens the side door as trying to get the person out, while his buddy continues to go around the back and pops the back open.
I edge around so I can see what's in the back.
Yeah.
You, as you peer inside of the back, you can see a person in a gurney who has a rapid response monitor on him, and you can hear the EKG beep, beep, and he looks up, and you can hear him groaning. Oh, and it's definitely a man who looks like he's in a full ski garb and seems to have had his had a lot of his winter gear cut and then splayed open.
Is there an EMT in the back with him?
There is an EMT in the back with him. Unfortunately, he is painted against the side of the wall because in the impact he was thrown against the side of one of the walls, and it is not an immense amount of gore, but you do see a large red impact to where he clearly hit his head badly on the side of the van, and he is laying unconscious.
At least it was his
presumably
head that
dead.
was hit.
I'm like, hey, someone help this guy back here. He hit his head.
He watches the older gentleman and his buddy start pulling people out of the EMT, and you see as the man comes up and goes from the guy on the gurney. He's like, "Sir, are you all right? You hurt at all?" And the guy, who is again a young ski goes, "I'm in a goddamn EMT." And he looks and goes, "They have every part of me strapped down. For God's sakes, just let me sit up. And he watches. He starts like kind of undoing a lot of the gurneys that presumably saved his life. He gets up without a lot of trouble.
Well, I want to ask him.
Yeah.
Why are you in the ambulance? What happened?
I was on a ski trail and I got lost off the side of it, and I was up there for 8 hours after it closed. They had to helicopter me out. Frostbite.
Oh wow.
See, I saw some terrible things out there. I've been meaning to come in and talk to the district about it here in town, but then out of nowhere, and suddenly you start to hear more moaning, sounding like people hurt inside of the midst of the van.
In the van?
And the EMT. The older gentlemen pulling the EMTs out are starting to kind of get them out and away from the van, not following any protocol at all about not moving bodies in case they're injured.
Yanking
That was
them out.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's not being clean about
It's like,
it.
whoa, they could have broken bones. You need to, like, relax.
Well, but
Stop
if the
pulling them
cars
out.
are about to, or could possibly explode or something, or catch
Yeah,
fire,
no, that's
then
why
we
I
have to
heard.
move.
I heard him say something about the car being all troubling and stuff. You watch as he continues to pull them out of the area and get them farther and farther away from the van.
I saw that there was a first aid kit in the cabin.
Yes.
I say, we have a first aid kit in our cabin. Should I bring that? Would anything help?
You watch as the older gentleman goes, "Son, are you dumb? It's an ambulance."
That's a good point.
As he kind of finishes his statement, there's tons of medical supplies. You watch as the EMT who is sitting on the floor, his eyes open wide out of nowhere, and he grabs the back of his head and pulls him into his mouth and takes a giant bite out of the side of his neck, and he screams as loud as he possibly can.
And see, at this point, I know what's going on, and I yell, "Zombie! There's a zombie! Someone get him!
Did I hear
Put
the
him
yell?
down!"
You heard the scream. You just heard Sohinki yelling, "Zombie! Zombie!
What?
Put him down!"
Did
you say zombie?
He bit him!
I go and pull the guy who's been bitten away from the paramedic and take steps back.
You guys are about to get screwed. So nice and warm where I'm at.
With your hot cocoa?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm essentially just drawing the intersection here.
Okay.
Okay. And then this is the car, which, for the record, even though nobody asked, it was kind of a sedan. Crashed into the EMT vehicle like this, and the paramedics are basically laying out the people here. And then there's the gentleman in the gurney in the back. And then you've got the gentleman who is leaning over, who just got bit in a terrible way.
So to be clear, the one that bit him was the guy that smashed his head in the back, or one of the guys from the front?
One of the guys from the front.
Okay.
So would you like to place where you're going to be so we can kind of
I guess
play this out?
Which way's the cabin?
Cabin is this way.
I was closer to the cabin, peeking into the back.
So, and I just pulled the guy away from
Right,
the
and that's right
EMT.
there at the situation. We're basically going to grapple real quick.
Okay.
But in the meantime, do you two have any intents at the moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna run. I just saw a dude get bit. I want to run back towards the cabin.
Yeah, I'm gonna also make my way back toward the cabin.
Okay, great.
So you guys are both going to leave me. Got it.
What?
Roll it up.
We shouldn't be pulling
for
people
grapple.
off.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
You didn't
grapple.
clear any of this with us.
Well, I've failed a lot. 6.
6 degrees of
5
failure.
degrees of failure and plus. So 5 degrees is the worst you can do.
Okay.
What happens is that you grab the guy and you pull on him as hard as you can, but you're surprised at the strength of which this EMT is holding on to this gentleman with tenacity. And as you pull him, you see skin being pulled apart.
He's gonna throw up again.
Just like cottage cheese, or not cottage cheese, like string cheese, like mozzarella on a cold slice
Cottage
of
cheese
pizza.
was fine. String cheese is where Lasercorn draws the
String
line.
that you can watch is that stringy piece of skin pulling off as he screams, and you see an arterial splurt catch you right in the face.
Oh, man.
All right, you're blinded. You let go of him as you stumble back prone, trying to wipe blood out of your
I
eyes.
yell, "Wes, get back to the house, you idiots!"
I
Or
decide
it's
to go
gonna
to
spread.
sleep.
You decide to go to
I'm
sleep.
going to bed.
Okay.
I go to actually go to bed.
Joe-
Damn it! Now I'm going to bed.
Joven's bored.
I started running as soon as I saw the bite, And then I guess I heard. So Hinky saw what happened. He started yelling.
I yelled against the zombie, and then as soon as
Right.
I yelled that, I started running back toward the house.
Legit question. Are you just assuming that it's zombies because you're playing this game? Or if we're ever in a situation where you see another man
If
get
I
bit, are you going
saw
to yell zombie?
If I saw a man take a chunk out of another man's neck that woke up from what looked like a deadly accident, I would probably yell zombie.
Okay.
I am playing with Smosh games. It's an accurate thing.
So I hear Hinky yelling and stop, and I also start yelling at Wes. It's like, Wes, get back over here. We're going back to the
None
cabin.
of you go to pick up
We're going
Wes?
back to the
wow,
cabin.
you guys, I have good
I
friends.
stopped to see if he could move on his own.
Yeah.
Lasercorn, you do watch as...
No, I'm
that's-
back here.
Oh, okay.
I ran. I
Sorry.
started running.
So Hinky's like, see ya! You do watch as, essentially from here, you see Wes literally on his... Well, what are you doing, Wes?
So my first instinct would be to wipe my face on the coat and scramble as far away as I could.
Like pedal back, pedal
So
back,
yeah,
pedal
I would. Well, if I had gotten knocked over, I would have scrambled and then gotten to my feet. And my first instinct probably would have been to pull out my knife.
Okay, so pull out your knife.
Oh god, this is what Wes does.
So you do watch as the gentleman who was on the floor. Let's use
By the way,
this.
okay, so if we're being real about how I would do it, I would get to a very safe distance, but I would definitely linger to watch the situation.
So Hinky, I would love for you to make a spot lesson check at this
Sure.
stage. So you watch kind of as you're pulling away and you start wiping blood from your eyes. Because it's in there, you can kind of see things through a red lens at the moment
Ugh.
a bit as you're pulling things through. And
Oh,
you,
really?
you watch as this the guy who bit him and you pulled him away, who made him prone. Essentially, you watch the paramedic after sitting up and doing the bite. You watch as he very deftly poops. You watch as he very deftly pushes himself up and kicks his legs up from underneath him, leaps up into the air.
They're running zombies!
And
Sorry.
dives down on top of him and just starts ripping at his face.
At this point, I scream, "Holy shit!" and I start sprinting toward. I scramble toward Sohinky and Lasercorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost running to the cabin. Run to the cabin now.
I had 3 degrees of failure on the listen.
Great. You see also the paramedic right next to him, suddenly, like in a single move, like a sleepwalker, just sit up and then stand
He did the
up.
Undertaker move!
And then he gets up and starts running.
No!
At this
Oh,
point, I
God.
see what's happening. I'm running for the house.
Yeah, no, I think all 3 of us sprint toward the house, and I'm just yelling, "Lock the door! Lock the door! Lock the door!"
Okay, endurance checks, both of you.
Oh God.
Yeah,
What
running
about
in
me?
snow!
I'm also running. Do I need an endurance check?
Yes, you do.
Well, I would have made it back to
Now
that.
remember, for vomiting, you are getting a difficulty dice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! So ridiculous.
Endurance checks.
So
Who's scared? I'm scared.
So this guy sits up, and you can watch as one of them is just on the gentleman, face first, completely
You
occupied.
got 4 degrees of success.
Yeah.
oh,
How-
I
what did
got
you roll? 0.
I rolled a 4,
Nice.
and I have
1 to
47
2 degrees of
endurance.
failure. Okay, so you start to run with Lasercorn and Sohinky in front of you, and you're essentially just keeping pace with him. You're not gaining distance. Okay, he's about 10 feet behind you.
Okay.
This time.
Lasercorn,
And
tackle
as
the
you're-
zombie.
And as you're bolting,
I'm running.
yeah, you're running. You're far enough ahead that you basically start making it to where the cabin is. The interesting thing.
When I heard the yelling, I decided to go from upstairs to downstairs to go to the front door.
Open the door.
To
In
go to
fact,
the front
I'm
door.
yelling, Joven, if you can hear me, open the door.
This is how Joven dies. We all dive into the room. Joven's like, "What's wrong?"
Joven's
What are you doing? What's outside? Son of it!
Is there anything special about 4 degrees of success for the endurance check?
I will take 3 survival points off, or give you 3 survival points for it, if you'd like.
Cool.
Yeah, this scenario's kind of dead and done. But as you start to kind of run through the street, and with your blood still kind of leaking down your shirt,
Bloody
this
shot.
paramedic is just 10 feet behind you as he's running, and you can hear sounds coming from his mouth.
This is
no human should be making.
This is the last time I invite you over to GM for us. Yeah. Who gives us running zombies?
Yeah,
that's me, man.
That's wacky.
You literally have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Except for me, who would just assume zombie naturally.
And right, and at the same time, am I going to go with 4 very seasoned gamers? Would I go and give them a situation which is a classic scenario? I'm going to challenge your brains as well as your abilities.
I just want to drink my hot cocoa and watch the world burn around me.
So Wes, you are keeping pace on this thing, but you're running as fast as you can. But as you turn around, you were surprised that this thing is still on you, and it is.
I'm going to die first.
I like the sounds.
As it
sounds
moves
like
with what seems to be no apparent injury or anything. In fact, it looks like it's doing like an Usain Bolt kind of like. You both, by the way, have made it to the cabin.
So are we waiting in the doorway kind of thing?
You tell me.
All right, yeah, I
I
think we see Wes coming and we're waiting with the door open. Like,
Yeah, because I came downstairs to the front.
Yeah, I sprint toward the door, and as I'm getting closer, I dive through the door and yell, "Slam it!"
All right. Why don't you make me a sweet athletics check?
Dodge?
Yeah, I'll take a dodge on this.
What about jump leap?
Jump leap's way sexier. Let's do that.
Do I still have the...
Oh yeah.
Leap.
Yeah, queasy tummy time.
Leap through that doorway.
Yikes.
You have failed hard.
You have failed this dodge
80.
leap.
That's actually 80. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 80.
because of the die.
But he has parkour experience.
I'm just rolling really poorly.
Damn it! You had a crit
So you have
earlier
5
on a
more.
check.
4 degrees.
4
All
degrees
right.
of failure.
I was thinking about how this was going to resolve, and I just thought of it.
Oh, no. Well.
The survival movie, action movie in your mind is that you're going to run for this door, and you're going to leap through, and they're going to slam the door right on you. But there is this terrible thing called physics. And unfortunately, what happened is as you're getting close and you dive, your velocity moving forward wasn't as fast as when you were running. And as a result, you kind of came up presenting your feet in a way that the creature grabbed you by both of your legs as you came up into your running leap, stopping your momentum completely as you fall in the door jamb. Boom, onto the face. Feel it against your nose. Take one.
Now we can't even close the door.
We're just gonna do 1 damage dice.
1 damage dice?
Yeah, for probably a broken nose.
1.
Yeah, so you're gonna get a bloody nose from that. And please mark 1 on your damage threshold at the moment.
Okay.
And as you basically do this leap up, this creature grabs you, stopping your momentum, and you both slam down to the front of this door jamb. Both of you prone in the midst of the door jamb of the cabin.
So how far is he into the door?
He's halfway through the door.
Got it.
His face.
By the way,
and not much more than that.
he had his knife out. He dove with his knife out.
Thank you so much. That's so good. I already made him roll damage for his busted up nose. I'm not going to make him impale himself. As you collide to the floor, the force of watching the wooden floor come up to you so fast definitely makes you open your hand, and you watch as your knife kind of spins in a fun circular
Which one of you is good at
motion.
stabbing?
How I have a +2 at piercing. When the zombie lands, how is the zombie looking right now? Very important.
He's
where
face
his body's
first.
He's basically holding on to him by his legs with both of his hands. So if this is the door jamb of the cabin, 5-foot door jamb, the creature is definitely out.
All the way out, other than its hands, basically.
Yeah, and his hands aren't even there because Wes's feet are outside.
All right. Instinctively, this is what I would do. We saw it. He hit his face. I yell at Lasercorn, pull him in. I step outside and kick the intruder in the head.
Kick him in the
The side of the head. Side of the
That's
head.
exactly how that would work.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So that's good. That's your intent. How about you, Lasercorn?
I wing my flashlight at the thing. Instinctively.
Yeah.
Take this!
Are you throwing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Realistically, my intent would be to grab the door and prepare to shut it.
So I got inside, right?
Yeah,
so I'm
you're
over
inside.
here.
Yeah.
So I'm holding a flashlight. I see this thing. It's like, and I can see its head, right? So I'm I
chucking it.
whip my flashlight.
Why do I
at
feel
that.
like this is
You
gonna
said
end
they're
up
the
with me
big,
getting hit
they're
in the
the
head with
big
a
old
flashlight.
heavy flashlights.
They
If
are.
I could wing that thing
God,
in the head,
You're gonna hit Wes.
I mean, that's a risk I'm going to have to take.
I'm holding on to the door, waiting for him to get safely inside so I can shut.
Normally, what that would be is that would be a whole check. So
Okay.
what I'm going to ask you to do, and Joven, you're kicking in the face, and you're obviously grappling with the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you grapple. You basically do a brawl. Laser core, and you're doing a throw.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
doing
what's
a
up.
hold.
my throw's not good. I just realized.
Oh,
No, wait, 91.
roll
Oh,
your-
that's really bad.
And roll your speed dice. Oh, look at 91. That's pleasurable.
Hey.
Oh,
My
God damn it.
I'm doing brawl.
The
My brawl is
seven
a
loves
30.
me.
I rolled
Okay, I
a
suck
42.
too.
So okay.
42, 1 degree
Yeah.
failure.
I'm rolling real well over here.
Five?
Wait, what's the max? I'm
By
gonna
the
roll
way,
a 91.
I'm wasting all my rolls on running away or waiting patiently.
So it's okay. We actually cancel out because I got 5 degrees of failure too.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got 4.
However, with your throw action, you
I just love that. That's what he would have done. That's what he would have
It's a
done.
big heavy flashlight. There's a thing grabbing Wes. Throw it at the thing.
awesome. You put so much baseball throwing momentum onto this, it just went straight down. Basically, you threw it so hard that instead of going forward and out, it just went straight down and hit Wes on the back.
Oh no!
What the hell?
Sorry.
Take more damage, Wes. Get one more damage.
Wait,
He's the one guy we have to
Three.
keep alive. All right, that's the end of this week's episode of Board AF with Outbreak Undead. We aren't done yet. Be sure to turn in next week to see who will die or who will get us killed. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, this is part 1 of this story. Next week, things are going to get even crazier. You aren't going to want to miss it. Speaking of missing it, if you missed the first time we played this game on this channel, check over here where we fight zombies in space. And to the right, we got a video just for you. Click it.